Wink, wink.
All right, Spots and Cheap Pops presents your moment in the Valley with Silicon Steve Valli. Thank you. Hi, Poppers. This is Silicon Steve Valli. Thank you for watching. We have got some stuff to talk about, and we're going to talk about AEW. And this will probably be the last video we do on AEW for a couple days because we're going to focus a little bit on this WrestleMania thing happening this weekend. And I'll be going live both Saturday and Sunday at some point. Details will be out. So, hold on. Shit. CM Punk said something stupid again. Anyways, everybody, we are talking CM Punk because Jon Moxley responded in a way that only Jon Moxley could possibly respond with. It was this like, I'm over this bullshit. Fuck you. Da, 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 da. The big revelation that happened here, though, is Jon Moxley wrestled pretty much all last summer without a contract with AEW. And he busted his ass and did everything he possibly could to make that company look great when it was in the darkest of times, when CM Punk's body failed him. And then what happened a couple months later? When CM Punk's mouth failed him, Jon Moxley had to step up once again. And he did all of this without a contract. So Moxley recalled the night that Punk specifically mentioned him about the Clubber Lang idea and how Punk said he thought the idea sucked. And by the way, a lot of people thought the idea sucked, and I'm one of them. But you didn't have to go on air with it. And I think Punk knew that, and that's why he deleted it very quickly. So from Moxley's perspective was he's not obligated contractually and is not obligated to do anything for AEW, not do anything certainly for CM Punk. And his idea is, okay, if I'm going to do this and it's going to culminate with me putting CM Punk over, me being Jon Moxley, Moxley's like, well, then we're going to do it my way because I'm bending over backwards. And basically Tony Khan was over a fucking barrel. Would Tony Khan have probably liked to do what everyone thought was going to happen? They would have the one match at the pay-per-view, and that was it, and Punk wins? Moxley figured, you know what? I was supposed to have some time off. I was supposed to do a lot of things that didn't revolve all around AEW, but he carried that banner. He main evented 3 pay-per-views in a row. Moxley has been their number, and I know he turned heel recently, but Moxley has been their number one babyface, and he's done the work. And he's, other than his stint in rehab, he's been there pretty much the entire time. Moxley has been everything and more that they wanted from him when they signed him. And more importantly, in his own ridiculous way, he's been a leader. And I know a lot of people are turned off by Moxley's matches and the blood and all that, but the fact of the matter is the guy is a top 5 promo in the company, for my money. He always cuts a good promo. Even people that can't stand Moxley, when he cuts a promo, as long as his mic is working, things are good. And he's a guy, CM Punk, the audacity of CM Punk to call out one of the biggest stars in the company who doesn't fuck with anybody. The guy who wants as little drama as possible, to call him out of all people. Wow. It just shows the immaturity of CM Punk. Could Moxley have been a real great guy and done everything that CM Punk wanted? Yeah, he could have. But Tony Khan didn't have him under contract. And so Tony Khan takes a lot of culpability here because you put yourself in that position. And that was Moxley's point. My favorite part of this thing, when Moxley was talking about it, and he basically explained that like we just said, he was not under contract. He felt like he was bending over backwards and he wanted to do it his way. And Tony Khan was over a barrel because Moxley needed to be happy or something devastating could happen to his title. Moxley said, and I'm paraphrasing, that he, if he was inclined, could have showed up at SummerSlam with the AEW championship and there wasn't a damn thing Tony Khan could have done about it. And he also explained, you know why people didn't know I didn't have a contract? Because I didn't say anything to anybody. And that's what wrestlers need to start doing. Go back to kayfabe if you guys can't keep your mouth shut. Seriously. This shoot thing is starting to get a little old. work, shoot, work. And I know that when you can blur the lines of reality, that's a big thing. And I love when it's done right. But it can't be at the cost of the company and the embarrassment of the company. And that's where we're at with CM Punk. And Moxley then said, and I liked it. And by the way, you could tell Moxley's not a fan of CM Punk. And those promos Moxley had on Punk, arguably he actually out-dueled Punk on the microphone during that feud. Fragile body, fragile mind, weak heart, weak spirit. He's talking to his wife, his amazing, beautiful. He's been my celebrity crush for 10 years. I hope he doesn't come cut my face. I'll have to ask him to leave and he'll start bleeding all over my couch. But I do love both of these people, by the way. So Moxley's chilling with his wife, and the night that this dick's talking about, so he referred to CM Punk as a dick, and he did it in such a quick, brash way. I'm not from Ohio. I'm from New Jersey originally, but I could see hanging out with a guy like Jon Moxley, like when we were younger and a little more idiotic. You know what I mean? It just was a fun listen to the sessions of Jon Moxley and hearing his perspective. And he comes off as he's not very intelligent, but when you actually listen to what he's saying, the guy's brilliant. So here's to Jon Moxley, and to switch back into CM Punk briefly. CM Punk left a lot of details out on that Instagram post. The fact Moxley was wrestling out of contract is a pretty big detail. CM Punk needs to understand that he's not bigger than any company, and he's not bigger than AEW. Going after Jon Moxley was damn near suicide of him coming back. It's one thing to piss off the Meltzer crowd. That's a divisive situation. People hate because you have people live in the territory days, back in the fucking territory days. These motherfuckers don't even know what the fuck. You have podcasters like that who have now hundreds of thousands of people just hating on people because someone comes up with a funny name like Harpo Fingerfuck. That is a funny name, though. There's a division there. Jon Moxley, people may dislike his style of wrestling. They might dislike the fact that he bleeds a lot. They might not like his matches. But by and large, people think he's a great promo. And by and large, people think he's a good person for this business. I happen to be a fan of Moxley. My partner, not so much. But I love Jon Moxley, and let's be real, he is one of the foundations and building blocks AEW has. Double or Nothing, the inaugural pay-per-view event back in 2019, needed a big friggin' splash. They needed a big name. They needed somebody who had been at the very, very top of this business. And Jon Moxley, who I was begging to see Jon Moxley during the latter years of Dean Ambrose. And then we finally got Jon Moxley returning to real professional wrestling in his view. And he goes right after Kenny Omega. He has an unbelievable feud with Kenny Omega. And they had some amazing matches. If that ring exploded, that match would have been legendary. But it's just very ignorant and stupid to go after a guy like Jon Moxley in AEW. And that's what CM Punk chose to do. And I don't know how much dumber and how much full of himself and how much of a narcissist you need to be to even think about publicly blasting Jon Moxley after everything he's done for AEW.
This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Thank you for watching, and please hit the subscribe button on High Spots and Cheap Pops.